Honest J. Nowak. Oh yeah. A pleasure to meet y'all at last, and welcome back to Honest J. Nowak, Mark of the Line, and more importantly, welcome back to a bunch of new stuff that I'm going to be covering up on really quickly. But I will, of course, get back to some more well-known brands in the industry. But for right now, let's get on to a couple others that I probably should get out of the way pretty soon because, well, they're probably not going to be very well taught on, but I guess I don't really have everything in the back of my mind. But of course, I can always look this stuff up before even starting recording sessions at any given moment. But right now, let's get on to Auburn, or Auburn. I guess there's not really too many ways that you could probably go through with that, but I've always said Auburn. So the big thing about it is that Auburn was, in fact, not just a township in the state of Indiana, but it is also the name of a former automotive marque, which of course was founded in that same exact area in the state of Indiana. Auburn Motor Company, which of course is a different take on the acronym AMC, which I will in fact talk a little bit more about in its own episode, but for right now, Auburn Motor Company, pretty much the way that it is, ran from 1900 to 1937, so it was only founded a few years before Ford, but it only lasted for 37 years after all that. It may seem like a long time, pretty much, but the thing is, maybe not everybody is the best contender at any given part of American economics. And also, given the fact that there are only so many businesses that can pretty much be brought around to accommodate most things. But Auburn, or Auburn, depending on how you pretty much look at it and how you pronounce things here and there, was in fact a not so well known part in the industry. Of course it takes place in Indiana, rightfully so, because that is in fact the name of a township that's also located in that state. But Auburn Motors is a bit more than just being at that certain point in that particular state in the Midwest of America itself. Auburn Motor Company has in fact had a few graduate attempts and some pretty much not so good moments out there in the industry. It could pretty much justify the fact that it might have ran for only that long because of, well, some of these things in particular, but I feel like that we could probably go a little bit more deeper and try to figure out exactly how those things pretty much happened to begin with. But aside from all the things that might not have been very good about Auburn itself, it sure did have a good line. There were a bunch of pretty impressive looking models for the time that actually looked pretty incredible. For the 1920s and 1930s, Auburn sure did have a nice impressive catalog out there, including models like the 852. Just to name one in particular. Because there actually was a Hot Wheels model based off of that particular model, and for the most part, it actually doesn't really look that bad, pretty much, as a representation towards that classic model from the 30s. But otherwise, Auburn is not so well known in the industry, particularly for its age, and also because of how it was one of many that ended up getting swept under the rug thanks to the Great Depression. And also with many other things that had also led to its potential inevitable downfall, in a way. So the big thing here is that Auburn is not so well known in the industry, but we have pretty much known for some time that it has had some attempts, at least. So we could figure that they were trying, but they just couldn't really do so well at it. So, that's probably going to be it for today, based on that particular subject. But tomorrow's subject I could feel like would probably be yet another example of one type of automotive manufacturer that not so many people would know about in most cases. So I guess we'll get to that tomorrow, but if you want to see more, go down to my channel. Make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media, and stay on the Hollywood side.